There'll be nobody left behind to grieve, and we will all go together when we go. What a comforting fact that is to know. Universal bereavement, an inspiring achievement. Yes, we all will go together when we go.
Goddamn motherfucker! If I knew those Legion guys are into that kind of shit, I would never have asked for that training session. I mean, okay, I knew I was gonna get my ass handed to me by Lucius, but that look he had on his face told me he wanted a lot more than just that. I have no idea where he's shoved that gauntlet of his before, and I would like to keep it that way. Yes, and that's exactly why I've sent the others away to prepare their things. Nobody needs to know about that little incident. Speaking of which, if you tell anyone about it, I'll take Arcade's advice and throw you into the fucking lake. And then you get an idea of how much pain I'm in right now. So, Vault 21, where it all began. I bet if I kept that Vault suit and wore it now, it would freak the hell out of these people. Oh no, I've always been living here with you guys. You just never noticed me, you son of a bitch. Missed the opportunity there.
Hi, I'm Sarah Weintraub. Welcome to the finest Vault Hotel in the whole world.
Now that I can believe. But if anyone ever builds a second one, oh, I'm not so sure. This place didn't always used to be a hotel, right? I mean, I am looking for an actual vault, not a cheap imitation of one. Hell of an effort lifting that door up that side if that really is the case, though.
No, silly, of course it wasn't always a hotel. I grew up in it. I love it. My favorite place in the world. Not that I know much of the world. I never left this place, come to think of it. But it is the most special vault ever.
You've never left? You love the smell of recycled air and rusty metal that much, huh? Nostalgia can be such a cruel mistress. You could have at least had a look around the strip.
Sure I have. I made the scene in the strip. It's just that I really like it here. Vault 21 is a kick.
Is it really? Because I have to be honest, apart from that sign out there, I'm not impressed so far. I guess the same could be said for every other tourist trap in the wasteland. But even then, this is lacking. You don't even have a giant dinosaur.
My vault is pure New Vegas. Everyone has a chance, and Lady Luck smiles if you play your odds right. Okay, it was like that before we had to leave. Vault 21 had very smart ways to help people get along. All arguments and fights got solved through gambling. I'll give you a quick tour of my home. Oh yeah, if you like.
Oh, you're on! I want to see how far you can flog this dead Brahmin of yours. Give me the full experience, and if I still think it's shit, then it's shit. The end.
Rightio, Daddy-o. Let's do it.
Oh boy, can you feel my fake excitement yet? Because I'm really trying.
Alright, please follow me. We'll head into the vault right away.
And I won't even get to watch that giant door slide open. That should be part of the experience. Good thing I'm not paying for this. I'm gonna guess that's not the original sign. But as I was saying, my knowledge of these vaults is limited, but even I know about the iconic door.
This bunker protects the entrance to the vault. Solid stone outside and thick steel on the inside.
And it would have been better protection with that door in place. So not only did you waste the effort raising that thing up there where you could have just made a lighter copy, but now you've lost a crucial component to this whole place. Vault Tech would be rolling in their graves right now. And this is a long shot, but if somebody ever tries to nuke this place again, this vault is going straight to hell along with everyone else. There goes my plan to convert this place to a personal shelter. Then again, I'm not exactly a big fan of the whole grey corridor and crap lighting thing you've got going on. I'm pretty sure it would drive me insane after a few years living down here. Unlike you guys, I actually value my sanity, even though I don't have much of one left. The scarcity makes it so much more valuable.
Above us, there's the control center for this level of the vault's life support systems, electric grid, radioactive shields, and all that jazz. Don't get lost. My vault has many corridors and rooms, although it is no longer symmetrical after Mr. House threw us out.
Well, if I do get lost, it will be your fault as a shitty tour guide more than anything else. And evidently the eviction didn't work so well considering you're still down here. How much of a nuisance were you guys? I don't like noisy neighbors any more than the next guy, but you must have made a hell of a lot of noise if he could hear you from the surface. Work hard and play harder, am I right?
This is the main game hall. Here we settle the big disputes among the vault's levels. Chosen representatives gambled against each other here. The winner earned the right to settle the dispute as wished by the collective.
God damn it. First the vigor tester and now this.
Pleased to have such parties in this diner. A bitch to clean later, but well worth it.
Wait, you actually cleaned this place? I could not tell at all. It's the lighting, I'm telling you. It's making everything look like shit. How did you not die from vitamin D deficiency? I'll never know.
This hall leads to our guest rooms. You can use the first room on our left, but no snooping next door. That's my room. Always was.
Good job telling me that. Now I'm certainly gonna take a look. I mean, I'm just trying to make a point. I'm not really gonna take a look. You've got nothing to worry about. Well, these corridors are not labeled. I can see what you meant about getting lost. Have you found little Timmy yet? He must be 30 by now.
Down there is the game room. Each side of the vault had one, but the other is filled with concrete now. Okay, that wraps it up. I'll see you soon.
Wait, concrete?
Good to see you again.
Why the hell did you fill up your own vault with concrete? I mean, you could do whatever the hell you like with your own property, but that doesn't mean I can't point out how stupid it is.
Well, it is my vault, all right. I mean, yeah. That is, no. I take care of it, but I suppose you could say that it belongs to Mr. House.
So you're gonna blame it on him, are you? What the hell does he have to do with all this anyway? Did he somehow buy the vault or something?
Mr. House has everything to do with Vault 21. He tried to get us out before he filled it with concrete. I almost went ape. So we convinced him. Okay, Sheldon and I, right? We convinced him to leave the top level mostly intact.
But why? Did he have a traumatizing experience with underground bunkers when he was younger? Something involving a basement, some ropes, and a girlfriend who called herself the leather bitch?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't want anybody sneaking around down there. My vault runs deep and wide. It's filled with corridors and rooms that go far. What gives him the right to screw us with the royal shaft anyway? So he saved New Vegas. Woohoo! Now scram and let us go on with our lives. Sheesh.
Because he's a businessman with bottle caps where his soul should be. What did you expect? Then again, filling this place up with concrete is hardly a good business move. I guess you did pretty well, keeping this place rust-free. Relatively, that is.
Yeah, and you gotta dig what I did with it. Looking as good as it should. Almost.
Well, that's not gonna matter to a guy like House unless it makes money. At least your idea actually made that possible. Then again, I wouldn't want to stay inside the vault unless I have to. No offense, but I'd rather think of the nuclear war as ancient history at this point. But I see you have some people here who likes to pretend otherwise.
Sure, the place is packed. Usually. We get loads of NCR cubes these days. A stray Brahmin Baron once in a while, and recently circled couples shining big rocks on their fingers.
Oh wow, what a romantic way to celebrate a marriage. Nothing says I do like an underground bunker where you can't get away from each other even if you wanted to. By the way, did you used to know Doc Mitchell? I think he took some of the medical equipment with him to Goodsprings.
Mitch? You mean Molebutt? I hadn't thought about that name in a long time. I was just a child and he had a big mole in his rear bumper. You understand, kids and all that. Everyone knows about each other in a vault. There's no other way. I hope Mitch is doing well.
Now, you see, I am curious to know how the hell you found out about that, but decency won't let me. But to answer your question, he's fine the last time I saw him. Evidently, he's pretty good at his job, considering I was his last patient. And I walked out of there with just a tiny bit of psychosis. Well, I'm glad to hear you at least enjoyed your time down here.
It was bustling with activity. We all knew each other so well. You see, the vault kept us all even. It's all symmetry and windows down there. We solved any quarrels through gambling. Lady Luck cast no eyeballs, you know? So, nobody shafted anyone else. Yeah, I miss those days.
Well, from what I can see, you still have the bustling with activity part. The bit about not getting shafted, though, not so much. Well, surprise, surprise, but I'm not actually here out of curiosity. So if you excuse me, I need to find me a certain gambler.
Okay, see you soon.
Oh, and if you hear gunshots or screaming, not that you will miss that in this giant reverberation chamber, do yourself a favor and stay out of it. Okay, this is the part where we systematically try every room until we find that lady. Because if she's even remotely clever, she wouldn't have registered using her real name anyway. This could take a while. I hope the others are using this time more wisely. Wait a minute, is this her room? And she left the door open. Way to keep people like me out. I won't even have to pick the lock. And immediately I can see something rather valuable. I'm not exactly being subtle here, but neither was she. Yeah, what's she gonna do? Call the authorities? Assuming the Securitrons even care, I'm pretty sure House doesn't give a shit. This is for him, after all. Granted, I might have just removed the only thing that's even remotely interesting from here, so yeah. If people start killing themselves from depression, then don't say a word about this. Now, where the hell do I go? What's that supposed to be? Look, I have no obligation to tell the NCR jack shit. If they have a security leak, that's their problem. It's not my responsibility to wipe their backsides for them. I don't get paid enough for that. Did I say I was gonna help the Legion? Look, I don't need this shit from you. The reason we're here is because I need time to think. As much as I hate to admit this, Mr. Giant Golden Face back there do have a point about the NCR. They're not gonna stop once they have control of Vegas any more than the Legion would stop. They were always gonna either run into each other or straight off a cliff. Oh, goddammit, I'm running in a big circle. I fucking knew this would happen. Oh, hell no. I'm not following that guy's orders. Just because I agree with his idea on where the problem is does not mean I agree on anything else. Because guess what? Replacing a shit government with another shit government doesn't get us anything other than more shit. I don't like that much excrement either literally or metaphorically. Well now, that's some hardcore room service we've got here, right guys?
The fuck is that thing? This ain't your business. Walk off and forget you saw anything.
Hey, unless you're gonna provide me with amnestics, I don't think that's gonna happen. That wasn't a suggestion, by the way. I'm already dealing with memory loss. I don't need this on top of that. But by all means, pretend to be a bunch of tough guys. You can explain to me how much you fucked up after we put you on a Legion cross.
Shit. Look, we're just following orders. We, need to take this up with the boss.
Bosses don't like no trouble in their place.
I have no doubt about that, but my boss on the other hand has a habit of stirring shit up. So walk away, motherfuckers. It's you who's gonna forget you saw anything. And you! I hope you realize what a fucking nuisance you've been. That bullshit line I just used isn't gonna work a second time.
Thank you. They were going to kill me.
Oh really? I couldn't tell. I just thought you paid for 3 burly men as part of a special party. How insatiable can you get, woman? Seriously though, they haven't started already, have they?
I'll be fine. Eventually.
That's good, because my employers would not be happy if something happened to you. So, you want to explain why those 3 guys were here in the first place? I'm not gonna stop pretending they were male prostitutes until you give me a more plausible explanation.
I may have overheard some things at Gamora that I passed on to the NCR. That's all. Honest.
The NCR? Oh, you're playing both sides. Very good. A woman after my own heart. Well, just so you know, the Legion came to the rescue this time, so you might want to think about which side can offer better protection from now on.
What? I only talked to Captain Curtis over at McCarran. I would never work at slavers. Honest.
Captain Curtis? Yeah, you obviously have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Here's a little tip. That guy was a slaver, and now he's dead. Good thing you mentioned that, otherwise I did consider putting a bullet in your head as a fuck you to Caesar. Either way, I think calling you a spy is giving you too much credit.
No. Well, not really. I mean, I'm not listening through doors or sneaking around or anything. People talk out loud, and I just pay attention. The NCR likes to keep tabs on the activities of the families, and they pay me good caps to hang around the casinos and keep my ears open.
Well, I bet they didn't pay you to talk to the wrong person. You should probably reconsider your line of work. Just because you're doing cloak and dagger shit doesn't exactly mean it's not dangerous.
It isn't normally. The NCR wanted me to just gamble and listen, nothing else.
That's it? They're paying you for that? Motherfuckers, I've been solving their problems since day one, and they paid me next to nothing. And now I find out they've been throwing caps at this? That shit should be mine. Is this really all you do?
I do odd jobs here and there, usually helping Sarah keep the vault tidy. I came to New Vegas to be a professional gambler. Too bad for me that the professional part isn't working out so good. But I love gambling, so I'm here to stay on the strip until they kick me out.
Oh, you poor little girl, spending all day fucking around and listening to gossip. They should start a charity for you and all the other worthless gamblers on the strip. Well, you better hope I don't run into you again. Otherwise, I'll personally drag you outside the walls so you can see this thing we call reality.
Goodbye.
Well, this is just great. You see, Eddie, this is why I refuse to restrict myself to the NCR. You might think it's just me being petty, but this is about respect. Even the boomers have more respect for us right now than these guys, and they try to blow us up literally one day beforehand. And you know what's gonna happen, don't you? If they ever try to make us do something similar with another faction, and it doesn't end too well, then we're gonna be blamed for it. We're scapegoats. That's all we are to these people. Well, of course House and Caesar will do the same sort of thing. That's why I'm doing this right now, until one of these 3 factions show me some kind of commitment that they're not gonna fuck us over, and I mean on ink and paper, that I'm gonna keep pushing this double agent shit as far as I can go. Look, I know what's bothering you. You're worried I'm actually gonna join the Legion. Well, assuming they're somehow going to ignore all the legionaries I've already killed, you've still got nothing to worry about. Caesar will get what's coming to him. The question is how. And yes, I am aware he's probably gonna die soon from his headaches anyway. Thank you, Celux. But nobody's gonna know about that, are they? The Legion will say that he's just resting, and the NCR will say they killed him. Well, fuck that! We're gonna make the most out of this, and we're gonna do it in a way that's gonna blow the mind of the propaganda office back in California. I just need to think about how. In the meantime, I think we just found the budget casino for the beggars and children of New Vegas. The jackpot for this place must be at least 100 caps, right? Might as well check it out while we're here. Well, what do you know? The front desk matches the outside perfectly. I guess this place was made by beggars for beggars. You blew all your money on the entrance fee? Well, don't despair. We've still got something for you. Honestly, the Atomic Wrangler looks better than this place. Then again, it could just be a workshop. But why the hell would you waste valuable space on the strip for something like this? Did I just see someone in a Vault suit? Ah, this place must be a sister location to that hotel. Who doesn't like to pair the minimalist theme with dirty industrial theme? That's exactly what I want to see when I come to Vegas. Maybe this is where the Vault Dwellers ended up after they got evicted. I'm not sure if this should be considered a downgrade or not. At least this place has more character than the Vault. What do you think, buddy?
Oh, hello, I am Michelangelo. How can I... wait. Are you here to deliver more billboard requests? Please tell me you're not a messenger on behalf of Mr. House.
Well, let's see now. I do work for Mr. House, and I am a courier. So I think you can draw your own conclusions there.
I am sorry. Meant no offense. The billboards are not ready yet. Please, I need more time, more materials.
More materials? You guys used old billboards to build the walls. Look, I saw them on the way in here. If you're gonna bullshit anyone, then at least spend some time practicing first. Believe me, I am an expert. And before you start shitting yourself, I was joking about being a collector for House, okay? Even though on some levels I kind of am.
You were? Really? Okay, for a moment I thought you were gonna tighten my screws. Like everyone else around here.
But if you are really into that kind of thing, then may I recommend the Atomic Wrangler? Go ask them for the Fistal service, and you won't be disappointed. But yeah, if I'm gonna shake anyone down for caps, then it will be on my own terms, not House's. So, who are you anyway? You don't exactly fit in around here.
That's great to hear. Really great. I'm Sheldon from Vault 21. Although here I go by my artistic name, Michelangelo. So what brings you here?
Is morbid curiosity good enough for you? If not, then know that things tend to get a lot more interesting when I'm involved, which may or may not be a good thing. Honestly though, I just paid a visit to the vault next door, and I figured you might have lived there once.
Most people don't understand what it means to grow up in a vault. Its corridors, its walls, radiate a warmth that feels safe, honest. But here, everything is huge and threatening. It's so empty that I think one of these days I'll just snap.
Well, that was not the answer I was expecting. You're seriously telling me you'd rather live in a tin can than see the open world?
I feel haunted by something terrible. Working in such a huge workshop often makes me shiver. I can't even leave the strip.
Well, to be honest, you're not missing a great deal. Between raiders, hostile predators, and that little war thing that's been going on, the only place left for you out there will be as food for the wildlife. Or the people, if you're not lucky. So by all accounts, you should be glad you're safe in here. What's your problem?
It's this place. My inspiration ebbs and I don't know how to stop it. Oh, I can't feel the warmth anymore.
In that case, take a deep breath, step outside, and go to the building on your left. You are literally right next to your old home. Go back if you're so unhappy here.
Wouldn't that be great? No, Mr. House filled it with concrete. Only a few rooms and halls remain. My sister was able to turn them into a hotel.
Yes, I am aware of that, but like you said, there are still some rooms left in there. So I ask again, why not go back? I'm sure your sister could use a hand. Unless, of course, there's something else going on between you two. In that case, leave me out of this. I'm not here to listen to your life story.
Well, not much, really. Vault 21 was my home. My dear home. I left it to explore the outside world. At first it was a marvel to behold. My inspiration flowed true, and its works caught Mr. House's attention. That's how I ended up in this place.
Man, I must be going crazy, because I'm pretty sure I just told you not to tell me your life story. If you ever do leave the strip, try not to do that again when you're talking to someone else. They might not appreciate it as much as I do. So simply put, your problem with House is more about a lack of inspiration?
Yes, I think so. But please, keep quiet about it. Without inspiration, I'm as good as a tumbleweed drifting in the barren wasteland.
Honestly, if it wasn't for Mr. House, you'd be a tumbleweed in the wind even with inspiration. Well, I've heard of claustrophobia, which I honestly expected you to have. I'm not entirely sure what you would call this, though. Agoraphobia, maybe?
Ah, an educated fellow. Now that is almost as rare as artistry. So, how can you help me regain my inspiration?
Oh, I'm sure there are multiple ways of treating your condition, but at times like this, I cannot stress just how effective it would be for someone to put a hand on your shoulder and say, "Grow a fucking pair of balls and smash your head against the problem, you pussy!"
What does this have to do with my... Never mind. I just can't go outside. Get it? There has to be another way.
Hey, did I say I was an expert? Do I look like I have a PhD on pussy treatment to you? If you don't want my advice, then I guess you should just seek out a medical professional. But it might take quite a while and a lot of caps. Maybe you should go and see Doc Mitchell at Goodsprings. I'm sure he'll give you a discount for old time's sake, assuming he's forgotten about the whole mole-butt thing.
What? Are you serious? I am an artist. I need inspiration, not therapy.
I think it's pretty obvious right now that therapy is exactly what you need. Maybe also some testosterone enhancements, but definitely therapy. This is about time and money, isn't it? Well, if you're really desperate, you could just go and find a back alley doctor in Freeside. I'm pretty sure they can poke your brain a little for next to nothing. They might even use a clean blade if you give them a tip.
Stop right there. I'm sorry, but there is nothing wrong with my brain. What I need is something that inspires ideas back into my work.
Nothing wrong with your brain? Ha, I beg to differ. You need medication, man, and you need it badly. Otherwise, what do you want from me? I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. What am I supposed to do? Escort you around while you take in the scenery? Because let me warn you right now, I would charge more than Doc Mitchell.
Thank you for the offer, but I think I really can't go to see... Wait a minute. I know, I don't have to necessarily be there to see it.
And just like that, you lost me. Is this actually gonna go somewhere? Because I do need to be somewhere.
Yes, that's it. I have a camera. It is old, but it should work. Perhaps you could bring me images of inspiring landmarks.
That sounds like a very roundabout way of doing things. You're scared of leaving your comfort zone that much, huh? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and assume some of these places will be quite far away from my usual travels, and I don't like to deviate too much unless it's for a good friend. Are you gonna be a good friend?
There's an opportunity for profit anywhere, huh? Even if it means preying on the helpless. Okay, you shuckster. 150 caps each if they are good.
I'm glad we can understand each other. The NCR could learn a few things from you. Now, I assume you have a vague idea what kind of pictures you want me to take, and not just anything I happen to come across. I don't think raider corpses and dead animals will be a good source of inspiration, unless you're into that kind of thing.
I've always wanted to see the dinosaur and its thermometer sign at Novak. Then there's the famous Bison Steve sign. The McCarran Airfield and the Helios 1 power station signs are of much interest to my work. Like the Sunset Sarsaparilla headquarters bottle.
Oh, fantastic! You want a list of anywhere else I've been to already? God damn it, now I have to find excuses to go back to each one of those places again. 150 caps is starting to sound like a bargain, I'll tell you that much.
Thank you. I really can't thank you enough for this. Please, get me all the pictures. I'll compensate you accordingly. Oh, and if you need more camera film, then just come back and I'll get it for you. Again, thank you.
Well, I want my name on every...
Download complete.
What the?
Begin recording. Navarro Outpost Scientist, I am glad that EDE has reached you. You will find several data banks of information on this machine.
Holy shit, I forgot all about this weird glitch of yours. Can this wait for a while? This is hardly a good place to start playing ominous recording about the end of days. Ah, fuck it, I've got nothing better to do. Play on.
Please handle this information with the utmost care, as it represents the sum total of the results of my research on the Duraframe iBots. There are also several data banks with information on my research into Poseidon Energy, and some projects they were working on in the Mojave area.
Okay, well, if any of that is true, then you just got an even bigger target on all of our backs. That's exactly what we needed right now, thanks. Yeah, so, if you're gonna say anything right now, then we're gonna have a problem. And believe me, that's the last thing you want. So I assume the only reason you haven't told me about all of this before is because you think I would sell you and the data you're holding to the highest bidder. No, I wasn't thinking about that at all. Yeah, what gave you that idea?